Alpha to Omega Consultation, and today we will be talking about Microsoft Intune and its features, not much but a little bit an overview about Intune, and also we will be talking about compliance policy and how to apply it to a group of users. So to begin with, first of all, we just need to understand that what is Intune and how does it work. So an Intune is actually a mobile device management tool which is developed by Microsoft, and in order to access Intune there are two portals at this moment. One is Silverlight and the second one is Microsoft Azure Intune Portal. So if you talk about Microsoft Silverlight, this is about to be depreciated. I mean, it's about to be removed. So we will not talk much about that, but just an overview that Intune Classic Portal is it requires the Silverlight add-on or add-in so that one can use their Silverlight portal on the devices. Now it does not work on Safari, so I am not going through with Silverlight right now. What I'm more concerned about is Microsoft Azure Intune. So to start with, in our previous lessons, we already have covered that what is MDM and what are the licenses which are required for Intune. But just a recap, so let's search that Intune license requirement. Okay, I think I have it here. Intune. There we go. So the licenses which has Intune as a feature is the Intune Standalone, Enterprise Mobility plus Security E3, Enterprise Mobility plus Security E5, Microsoft 365 Education A1, Microsoft 365 Education A3 and A5. These three are for the Intune for Education. It has a different functionality, different features altogether. It the the platform is similar to the regular business portal, but it is different. Okay, we will check that in our next sessions. Now the next one is Microsoft 365 E3, 365 E5, 365 F1, and then here comes Microsoft 365 Business. Now there are a lot of people who get confused between Microsoft 365 and Office 365. So please understand that these two are different products. Microsoft 365 Business or Microsoft 365 E3, it includes all the features which is available in 365 Business Premium. So please make sure that whenever you are opting for licenses, excuse me, please do not confuse between these two, all right? Because I got a lot of questions from my clients that they have purchased Office 365 Business, but they did not get Intune. So I just have to explain that these two are different licenses. This one is bigger package. If you talk about 365, Microsoft 365, it is a bigger package, or it has more features than Office 365 Business Premium. So okay, now the next thing which comes into the picture is authority. Now what is Intune Authority or MDM Authority? So if we search about MDM Authority on the web, it's actually I can explain that easily without going to web, but I think it would be better to show you what exactly that is. Now, the Mobile Device Management Authority setting determines that how you manage your devices. As an IT admin, you must set an MDM authority before users can enroll devices for management. So, the possible configuration. Okay, I hope this is self-explanatory that how you are managing your device in Office or in Microsoft MDM system. That's what the authority defines. For example, if you are going with Intune Standalone, that means it's cloud only management, which you can configure by using the Azure Portal, includes the full set of capabilities that Intune offers. Okay, now this means if you are using everything on cloud, for example, your users on cloud, your devices on cloud, and everything is on cloud, there is no on-premise setup is involved, In that case, the authority would be Intune standalone, which you can set. Second thing, Intune hybrid. That is integration of the Intune cloud solution with System Center Configuration Manager, which you can configure. Uh, in this way, you configure Intune by using the configuration management or manager console. So that has a different kind of uh, authority wherein you use your on-premise server, or you want to make sure that your on-premise server setup gets in sync with the Intune. In that case, you will use System Center Configuration Manager, that is SCCM, along with the Intune. Third one is mobile device management for Office 365. That's quite a simpler one, because whenever you purchase a license for Office 365, it comes with, or it includes, MDM by default. So that's how it is. That's an overview about authority. Now, I have Office 365. No, I do not have Office 365. I'm sorry. I have Enterprise Mobility plus Security E3 license, or I believe I have E5 license. Let's check. So to check the same, you go to Office, portal.office.com, where you need to log in using your global administrator. I believe I have already covered global administrator account types actually. So if I go here, and then if I get to the billing, and then under billing, if I go, there are two ways where you can check licenses. One is under licenses, second one is subscription. I prefer subscription because it gives you more detailed information, or detailed intel about what you have, what are you going to do. Right now it has a trial license, and I have 250 licenses available, out of which I have assigned 2 licenses. Okay, Enterprise Mobility plus Security E5. Now if you want to check that, what are the features in that, simple, you can go to web, or I have a simpler way. Go to users, check active users. Under that, select any of the user. I'm selecting my global admin account. You see this option that says product licenses, enterprise mobility plus security E5. I click on edit. Once I edit that, it will show all the features which are included in security E5. So if you're talking about Intune, so I would be looking specifically for this one. That's Intune A Direct. Okay, this one here, this little fella, this is the one who we are looking for if it is Intune. Okay, now we need to get back to the Intune portal. So I'll go to Azure, and let me show you how to get to that portal. You go to portal.azure.com. You need to log in with your credentials or with the user, whichever you want. Basically, global administrator has all the rights in Intune, okay, or Office 365 portal for that matter. You get into that, and then you search for Intune. Okay, once you search for Intune, just like that, you search for Intune, it will show the list of Intunes. Click on Intune, and it will give you a new, or in fact a page wherein you will get blades and the description on the right section of the page. Okay, on the left you get overview, quick start, device enrollment, device compliance, device configuration, devices, device apps, ebooks, and so on and so forth. Now under overview, you can get what exactly is going on here. As you can see, you have not enabled device management yet. Click here to start. So it's a new one, it has no authority set, so I'll click here. Okay, once I click here, it will ask me to set up the authority. As you can see, mobile device management authority. Choose whether Intune or configuration manager is your mobile device management authority. Choose Intune as your MDM authority to manage mobile device with Microsoft Intune only. Choose Config Manager as your MDM authority to manage mobile devices with System Center Configuration Manager with Microsoft Intune. That's a different story altogether. Now, I do not have any on-premise system, so I will select Intune MDM authority, and then once I'll choose it, it will set the authority as Intune. I will need to refresh the page. Hopefully it should go away, the yellow bar on the top. uh, yeah, it's gone now. So you see here Classic Portal. Let's see what Classic Portal is all about. I'll open a new tab, but I don't think it will open here because I do not have Silverlight installed on my Mozilla Firefox. Oh, yeah, right, you see here. I do not have Internet Explorer here. So no problem. We are not looking into Classic Portal. I mean, anyway, Classic Portal is actually the Silverlight portal, as I have mentioned earlier. I might have. Okay, so after overview, you go to click quick start. I'm sorry, quick start. Over there, you can get the overview of Intune, get started. Like if you want a lesson or something, let's click on click get started. It will give you the, yeah, there you go. It will give you what Intune is and what it does and a lot of things. Then common ways to use Intune, new in Microsoft Intune. Okay, yes, this one is important. What's new in Microsoft Intune? If you go here, it will show you that what are the features which are included recently. In this case, week of August 14, 2018. Now, Mac OS support for Apple device enrollment program. Wow, that's new to me as well. Uh, okay, we can check that later. So this page is something where you want to check in case you want to know what's going on with Intune or if there is any update on that. Okay. Now learn more. I mean, yeah, that's something which you can self-help channel. In other words, get support in case you want to raise a case with Microsoft Intune team. All you need to do is to create a support request. Once you create a support request, it will give you the option. What exactly do you want to do? I want to go for a new support request, and then choose an issue type. Whichever issue you have, you can select, and it's a self-explanatory actually. Then I go to the same page again. Now, under account details, you can check that what is the account name and other things. So my account name, that's the tenant name. It's A2O consultation.onmicrosoft.com. Then account status is active. Asia Pacific, yeah, that's the location, the region actually where I am operating in. Then Mdm Authority is Microsoft Intune. Okay, but remember we were talking about authority, so that is where this shows Mdm Authority under quick start and then account details, and you can find it here. The next thing which you want, which we have discussed, is device compliance. Okay, now before device compliance, we want to know, or we would like to know that what is device enrollment, as it's the first tab. So just an overview of this manage. Under manage, you will get all the options which are used to manage the enrolled devices or manage the applications, anything which you want to manage in Intune, you will get under this option in the blade, in the first blade. So under device enrollment, there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options, out of which the overview similar. It will give you the overview of how many devices are managed and something as per the OS. And as you can see, iOS no device, Mac OS no, 0. It's all 0. You go to quick start, and a quick start you will get that what are the options and what are the requirements and so on and so forth. Now, Apple enrollment. If you go to Apple enrollment, this will give you the options what are required for a device enrollment. So Apple MDM push certificate is something which is very important if you want to enroll the Apple device. So this is actually a prerequisite, one of the prerequisites. Okay. So also the enrollment are actually um, it can be done on two kind of devices. One is the bring your own devices, that's your personal devices. Second one is your corporate devices. Bring your own devices is quite simple. You just have to install an application that is Microsoft Intune Company Portal app. Once you install it, you need to log in using your UPN, which was provided to you by your admin, and everything else, for example, the policies, configurations, everything will be deployed on your device as set by your admin. Okay. Now, however, if you talk about the Apple MDM or Apple enrollment, so Apple MDM is the first prerequisite. So once it is there, then an Apple device can be enrolled. Only after that, or else you will get an error like device not onboarded. Uh, Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's create a new node. I'll okay. So you will get the error that is something like this. So whenever you get this error message, that means the uh, APNS certificate is not there. I'm sorry about the background noise. Okay, now once it is there, the next thing which you want to know is Apple Configurator and Enrollment Program Tokens. We will explain that in next session. So now you go to Android enrollment, manage Google Play, work profile. You can create these two. Work profile is actually a separate space on your personal phone. For example, I have an iPhone. I'm sorry, not iPhone, Android. I have an Android phone, and that's a personal one. I do not want to let my company or let my organization make any changes to my device. So what I'll do, uh, or in fact, for that I can request to my organization, and they can create a company profile, or they can configure a company profile on my device, so that the work data would be separated from my personal data. And in case anything happens, or in case I leave the organization, they can remove the work data entirely from my personal device without impacting any uh, file or folder in my own cell phone on my personal location. So that's what the work profile is. Windows enrollment, as you know, Hello for Business is actually a two-factor authentication, where you can set PIN while starting up the device or starting up Windows 10 devices. CNA validation, for example, you have a different domain which you want to add within Intune, you can do that in this section. We will go in a detail one by one, but some other time. I mean, not this time today, because it's going to take a lot of time, right? Enrollment status, when you can check that what is the current enrollment status of devices. Deployment profile. Uh, let's see. This is actually the Autopilot. The Autopilot is technology in Microsoft devices, Windows devices, wherein you can create profile, and the moment user enters their credential in the out-of-box experience mode on the Windows 10 devices, the devices can get auto-enrolled. Yeah, that's Autopilot itself at 183. There's the devices you need to enter the serial number and hardware hash of the devices in other devices. Okay. Terms and condition, you want to create terms and condition for your employees, so that once they enroll the device, they will need to accept it or something. So you can create it here, and then display name, for example, let's say test, and then terms of use. I can type whatever I want. Okay. The next thing is enrollment restriction. That is very important. Enrollment restriction, it actually defines that how many devices one can enroll, or what are the platforms which can be enrolled within Tune. Let's say device type restrictions. Let's say I have a device which is iOS, and my organization, they do not want me to enroll iOS devices. So what they can do, they can go to properties, and they can block the iOS enrollment. The rest of the devices can be enrolled. Click OK, and this will be blocked. All right. Similarly, it goes for any of the device type. You can create restrictions as well, as this is default, so it's default, right? So if you want to create restrictions, or for example, you have 5 departments where they are using 5 different kind of, or 5 different types of devices. Now you want to make sure that one organization can use iPhone, one organization can use Androids, third one can use only Mac, fourth can be used only with the Windows devices. So you can create restrictions according to your requirement. Once you create restrictions manually, so it will override the default restrictions. Second one, device limit restrictions. The maximum device limit or the maximum device which one user can enroll in the environment is 15 as per this one. So apart more than 15, no one can enroll. But again, you can create restrictions and you can set the value as much as you want. I will be closing this, and as you can see, the by default device limit for all the users is 5 devices. And if a user has 6 devices, they need to contact their administrator and they can accordingly provide an exception, or they can increase the number of devices per user. So that's all about the device restrictions. Device categories, either corporate or something or HR. I mean, for example, you have 5 departments in an organization and you want to make sure that uh, users in a uh, uh, certain location or certain department should be able to categorize themselves. So you can create a category, you can type the name and then create. So next time it will be it this actually does not do any good or any bad for that matter. It actually gives you a bifurcation of the users or the devices, that how many devices are available in the environment in the organization and what are the uses of those devices in that. Okay. Now, corporate device identifiers. For example, you have corporate devices enrolled in the Intune, so it will be shown here. Device enrollment manager. This one is actually a very important, or it plays a very crucial role when it comes to bulk enrollment. Now, when I say bulk enrollment, that means an administrator or anyone in the organization who has the sufficient privileges to enroll the devices, corporate devices. So they can use a single ID, a single device enrollment manager, and they can enroll any number of devices as per their requirements. So the current limit is 1000. So 1000 users can be enrolled using one device enrollment manager account. All right. Audit logs, it would show that what changes are made and by who. Excuse me. Currently there is no data, or else you would have seen the date, like when was the changes made, who started the change or who initiated the change, and where was the change made, what was done to who, and what category that falls into. Okay, so that is all about the device enrollment section. Second one is actually device compliance. That's what we will be majorly talking about. Device compliance. Okay, so the first thing, what is device compliance? Okay, let me explain. The device compliance is actually a way, or this is the settings which defines a device to be able to access company data, or to be able to access the company network, or anything for that matter which is related to organization. So once a device is compliant, only then these things can be managed or these things can be done. In order to make sure that what are the settings here, let's navigate to the blade here. Overview, it will give you an overview of what it is happening, or what are the settings, what has been done so far in the device compliance. In that, uh, there are under manage, there are 1 2 3 policies, notification, location. So the policies is actually something which we would be using the most, because it will allow you to create the compliance policy as per your requirement. I create a policy, okay, I name it as TEST test policy. Description is not required, but again, if you want to mention anything, you can. Then I'll select the platform for Android, okay. Under Android, there are setting, location, and action for non-compliance. So under settings, there are device health, device properties, system security. Under device health, there are you want to make sure that no rooted devices can be connected to the portal or can be connected to the company data, because rooted devices are actually not secured. So that's why you can block it as per your requirement. If you say not configured, it will not block it. It will allow the rooted devices as well. However, for the organization's data safety, this option is always blocked, or you can always do that, provided there is any under any certain circumstances where you can't do that. All right. So the next thing is require the devices to be at or under the device threat level. Device threat level is actually a parameter wherein devices are evaluated, okay, on the basis of their threat level. If it says secured, that means it's just fine. If you say low, okay, if you say secure, that means any of the data can pass through, be it secured, non-secure, or anything for that matter. Second one is low. That means if the traffic has low threat level, it can be passed. Okay. When you go to medium, that means if the threat level is medium, wherein yeah, if the threat level is medium, then you can select medium, and then finally it comes high. Once the threat level is high, it does not, or if you have set that to high, it does not allow any communication from the outer uh, any of the device or anything. Google Play Protect, if you want to do that, you can do it. Up to date security policies, threat scan on app, analytics, safety net for device attestation, that is okay, it's not a big deal. And you go to the uh, device properties. In this, you can select that what kind of devices or which operating system you want to allow or which you want to deny. Okay. Now, once you do that, you click OK and then go to System Security. Under System Security, you can find the options which are related to password, PIN, and anything which is uh, related to the security. So the first thing starts with the password. Require a minimum or require a password to unlock mobile device. That means you want to make sure that if a user unlocks their device or their mobile phones, they would be asked for the password. So that is why it's under compliance. Second one, minimum password range. You can select the minimum password range, and then required password type. Should it be alphanumeric or numeric? Now the third thing is required password type. So it's device default. Okay, required password type. Okay, I'm sorry for the long pause. So required password type, you can select the password type. For example, alphanumeric, uh, whichever suits your requirement, you can do that. Now, minimum number of inactivity before password is required. For example, if I do not use my laptop for 5 or 10 minutes, I want to make sure that my device is locked. So you can select the minimum number of password, or sorry, minimum number of inactivity. Then you can select password expiration date, like by when the password should expire, number of previous password to prevent reuse, and on so on. Encryption is if you want to make sure that the device is encrypted, and encryption in Windows 10 1803 is done by BitLocker, yeah. So encryption is done by BitLocker. Now, if you require it, then it will be prompt on the device that your company organization they want to make sure that you enable BitLocker on your device. Now, the third one is, I'm sorry, the last one is device security. So it actually more of a software part because block apps from unknown sources if you want to make sure that no other devices or no other applications that do these they yeah. So it's like if there are applications which are not from any trusted source, then it will be blocked. So USB depending on device, everything, I mean whichever you can think of, it's here. Once it is done, you have a policy and then you need to assign it. I'm creating a blank policy without anything just to check. I click the policy, it is created. Now it will show its own blade along with the other option. So what you can do, you can always go to the properties. Under property it will show everything whatever that is, and then go to assignment. Once you go to assignment, an assignment is actually so you can select groups to include. Once you click select groups, and then you can choose the group according to your requirement. Now once you, okay, I'm selecting the test group. Now under, once you select the group, you can evaluate that how many users are in the group. Currently there is one user, that's the test user. I'll click save, and this is mm, yeah, this is done. Now what next thing which you need to do is to give me a second. Alright, now the policies has been applied to test group. So if there is any device which has that particular option, excuse me. So that would be all for now. And Once the device is assigned or the policy is assigned to the group, you can select the group. You can also exclude the groups. Like if I want to make sure that a group has 50 users and I want to make sure that one of the user or a group of user are not included in the group. So apart, instead of doing anything else, I'll create a new group and I will assign that group here and we'll save it. By doing that, I will exclude the users who are not required in this one. So for now, thank you so much for all your time and patience. I would appreciate if you can like, share or comment your requirements so that I can proceed further and assist you, or I can give you a better information about all the Intune features. So for now, we have completed compliance policy, and for the other tabs, we will yeah, for the other tabs we will get back. I will get back to you soon next week, and also as you know that actually I will upload the video next week, and till then, take care, bye bye, have a good day, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye bye, take care.